Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some MLB player props that I like for today on Monday, June the 2nd. My first MLB video of the season. I know it's, the MLB season started like 2 months ago, but I've been doing, just focusing on NBA content lately. But since we're getting to the kind of the end of the NBA season, we have the finals starting up on Thursday. There's going to be NBA games like every other day. For game one of the finals is on Thursday, and I think game two isn't until like Saturday. So there's going to be days where we don't have any games NBA, and I do want to pump out MLB content on those days. I still do cover MLB. I've been covering MLB all season on Patreon, but I haven't been doing any videos on YouTube. But starting today, moving forward, pretty much the rest of the MLB season, we're going to be putting out content on YouTube, giving out some MLB props that I do like every day over on Prizepicks. And just like my NBA videos, we're going to break down the plays, going to give some information, some analysis on why I do like these plays. Now, we got 2 plays for today. It is a little bit of a smaller slate today, only 7 games. For MLB, usually, you have like 12, 13, sometimes 15 games in a day. But today for Monday, only 7 games, so it is a little bit of a smaller slate. Got 2 plays, 2 early plays I like, taking a first look at the board this morning. Going to break down these plays and share why I like them. Now, before we do get started, guys, make sure that you hit that like button down below. If you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, and if you don't have a Prizepicks account, be sure to go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 instantly added to your account. Easy way to get that bankroll built up on Prizepicks. You don't have to deposit a bunch of money. Just sign up. Put in the minimum, whatever the minimum is. I think it's like $10. Put in $10, play a $5 lineup. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. Prizepicks is going to immediately give you $50 in promo funds, which you can use to play more lineups and hopefully start to build up a bankroll. So use that code NOAH if you guys have not signed up for Prizepicks yet. And then I do also want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper, because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over on Sleeper, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you put in on your first deposit, Sleeper will match that up to $100. And if you guys don't know what Sleeper is, they're a DFS pick'em app. They're very similar to Prizepicks. They're very similar to all the other DFS pick'em apps that you see around the industry. You build out a lineup, you pick your more or less on your player projections. You can do up to a 6-pick or 8-pick lineup on Sleeper, can win up to 100x your money, and Sleeper does allow you to mix and match sports, so you can do multi-sport entries. They do a lot of promotions, a lot of discounts throughout the week. I think that's one of the biggest benefits to playing on Sleeper. They're always giving out discounted player props, giving out payout boosts, protected plays, all throughout the week. You can get access to that on Sleeper. So if you guys do not have an account on Sleeper, again, make sure to sign up and use that promo code NOAH. But let's go ahead and talk about some plays, guys, that I do like for today for this MLB slate on Monday. Again, smaller slate, only 7 games, but I still got 2 early plays I liked. First prop we're going to take a look at is going to be a pitcher fantasy score. And the line that I'm liking here is Logan Webb, and we're going to take Logan Webb for more than 33.5 pitcher fantasy score. So Logan Webb been pitching really well as of late. He's gone over this fantasy score line in 4 of his last 5 games for what it's worth. Doesn't mean much because obviously, in baseball, every matchup matters. Guys could be pitching really well and then they get like a really tough matchup, and vice versa. Guys could be pitching really poorly, but then they get a really good matchup. Webb has been pitching well as of late. This matchup against the Padres, on paper, it's not the best matchup. The Padres, offensively, they're a good offensive team. If you look at their metrics this season versus right-handed pitching, they rank towards the top of the league in most metrics against right-handed pitching. Like they're 8th in batting average. They're 12th in on-base percentage. In terms of slugging, they are, let's see, where they rank in slugging. They rank 20th in slugging, so haven't shown a ton of power against right-handed pitching. In terms of like WRC plus, they rank 15th in that category. So most of their offensive metrics against right-handed pitching are kind of middle of the pack, if not above average. Some metrics they do rank a little bit below average in. But the reason I like this spot for Logan Webb, for one, we've seen throughout Logan Webb's career, Logan Webb has been really, really good at home, and it's not a fluke at this point. Sometimes you'll see guys, maybe they'll have like one season where they do better at home than on the road. But this is a thing that, this is a trend that we've seen over the last like 3 seasons. Like if you look at Logan Webb's ERA at home compared to on the road, I think over his last 3 seasons, his ERA at home has been like 2 runs lower than what it's been on the road. In 2023, he had a 2.26 home ERA, on the road 4.31. In 2024, a 2.83 ERA at home, 4.11 on the road. And then this season at home, Logan Webb just a 1.39 ERA at home, and then on the road, almost a 4 ERA, 3.95. So his ERA has been significantly lower at home than on the road, pretty much the last like 3 seasons for him. He's a pitcher that has historically pitched really well at home. And one thing I like about Logan Webb is he's a guy that can go deep into games. He's a guy that gets a lot of ground balls. He's one of the best ground ball pitchers in the league. This season, his ground ball percentage, it ranks towards the top of the league, 92nd percentile. He's got a 56.3% ground ball percentage. And when you're looking at fantasy score, there's a couple things you want when you're taking a pitcher to go over their fantasy score line. For one, you're kind of hoping they get a quality start. And if you don't know what a quality start is when they pitch 6 innings and then they give up 3 runs or less. And that's something that Logan Webb has been able to do a lot this season, is get quality starts, because he's able to go deep in games. He's consistently able to pitch 6 innings or more, and he's done a pretty good job at limiting runs. Obviously, we talked about his ERA at home. It's below 2. He's done a really good job, limiting runs at home. And then one thing that's also been good for Logan Webb this year, he's really upped his strikeout rate. He's been getting a lot more strikeouts this season. If you look at his strikeout rate kind of throughout his career, he's been like a 20% to 22% strikeout rate guy, kind of around. He's been like a league average strikeout guy throughout his career. But this season, Logan Webb has upped his strikeout rate to almost 28%. His K percentage ranks in the 80th percentile. He's got a good whiff percentage, a good chase percentage, so he's getting guys to swing and miss at his pitches. He's getting guys to chase his pitches out of the zone. And when you're getting whiffs, when you're getting chases, that's ultimately going to lead to strikeouts. And we've really seen Logan Webb up his strikeout rate this year. Obviously, this matchup for strikeouts is a difficult one. The Padres do have one of the lowest strikeout rates in the league. But we don't need Logan Webb to go out there and get like 8 Ks to go over this line. I mean, realistically, he could pitch like 7 innings, get like 4 Ks, give up maybe 1 or 2 runs, and that could be enough to go over this line, because he'd get a quality start. I think he's also got some chance at a win here. When you're looking at fantasy score for pitchers, they do get 6 points for a win. And if you look at this game right now, the Giants are almost, they're like minus 180 favorites in this game at home. So I think the Giants are favored to win this game. Maybe Logan Webb can pitch with some run support. He can get a win here. But I like his potential to get a quality start in this spot. I think the strikeout upside in this matchup is not super high. But like I said, with this line at 33.5, we don't need a ton of strikeouts for Webb to go over this line. He could go over this fantasy score line with only like 4 or 5 strikeouts. So I definitely like this as our first play for today. I think if you want to look at Logan Webb's K prop, which is at 5 currently on Prizepicks, I think that's okay. Right now, his 5.5 strikeouts demon line is it's one of the more popular plays. But if you want to look at his 5 strikeouts, I think that's okay. I think if Webb does get more than 5 strikeouts, though, he's pretty likely to go over this fantasy score line, and I could definitely see a scenario where he doesn't get 5 strikeouts, but still goes over this line, especially if he pitches deep into the game and goes like 7 innings. Maybe gets a quality start, maybe gets a win. There's plenty of scenarios where he goes over 33.5 fantasy score without getting 5 strikeouts. So I definitely like the fantasy score a little bit more than his strikeout prop, but I love what I'm seeing from Logan Webb this year, especially with the upping his strikeout rate. And although this is a difficult matchup for strikeouts, I like backing Logan Webb at home. I've done it a lot, pretty much this season, and since I've been doing like MLB player props. I mean, Logan Webb's a guy he's just been money for me when he's been at home. So it's going to be our first prop for today. And then the other prop that I like is going to be a hitter prop. We're going to take Max Muncy for more than 4.5 hitter fantasy score. So if you don't know how fantasy score works for hitters, it's self-explanatory. Click scoring chart right here. They have the scoring chart for both pitchers, how pitchers get fantasy points, and then they have the scoring chart for hitters, and you can see how hitters get fantasy points. So Muncy, he started off this season really, really bad. He was ice cold to start the season. He was not hitting the ball well. But really over the last month or so, I think it was pretty much early April, towards the end of May, and I want to say, or not April, but towards the end of April, early May, that's when we really started to see Max Muncy starting to hit the ball well. Definitely early May is when he really started to get things going. And pretty much over the last couple weeks, we've really started to see Muncy hit the ball a lot better. He's got up to 7 home runs now after he had he had like no home runs till he didn't hit his first home run until April 30th. But he's got 7 home runs. He's hit 4 home runs in his last 5 games. So we've really seen the power come back for Max Muncy. As you can see, he's had some big games lately. He had a 2-homer game against the Yankees when the Dodgers scored like 18 runs. He homered last night against the Yankees. So he's been hitting the ball well lately. The matchup here against Paul Blackburn is one that I think's okay. Now, Paul Blackburn, he's going to be making his debut for the Mets this season. Blackburn, I think, has been dealing with an injury. He's been pitching like in the minors, but he's coming off the IL, going to be making his debut. Blackburn, he's never been like a bad pitcher. Throughout his career, he's been like just as an average, if not like a little bit of above league average pitcher. But Blackburn will give up some numbers to lefties. Like if you look for his career, lefties are hitting 272 off of Blackburn with a 334 on-base percentage, 429 slugging. So lefties have had success against Blackburn in their career. And Muncy, this season, he has been like significantly better against right-handed pitching. I mean, he's basically a platoon guy. Like he doesn't really play against left-handed pitching. And I guess when Blackburn comes out of the game, if the Mets do bring in a left-handed pitcher, there is a little bit of a chance that Muncy gets pinch hit for, which obviously that's a concern. But with this line at 4.5, I mean, Muncy could legit go over this line like in his first at bat. He could get like an RBI single, or he could get a single and score a run. I mean, 5 fantasy points is not hard for a hitter to get. It's not like we need him to hit a home run. He could get there like in 1 at bat with just a single and a run. But if you look at Muncy's splits this season, he's been really good against right-handed pitching. He's been bad, though, against left-handed pitching. I mean, he's just not been able to hit lefties at all this year, which does make me a little bit worried that if a lefty does come into the game, that Muncy might get pinch hit for. But that's something that you can't really predict. I mean, we just don't really know. And if you look in the lineup, I mean, Muncy, he's probably going to be put in between 2 righties. Teoscar Hernandez is probably going to be batting above Muncy, and then Andy Pages is probably going to be batting like below him. So if in a scenario where maybe Blackburn pitches or gets out of an inning, and then you got Hernandez, Muncy, Pages coming up, there's a good chance they're not going to bring in a lefty to face Hernandez and Pages. They're probably going to bring in a righty at that point. So it's just we don't know if he's going to get pinch hit for or not. It's just kind of the gamble you take. But Muncy should get at least 2, if not 3 at bats against a right-handed pitcher, and then at that point, it's fair game if a lefty comes in or not. But like I said, he's had really good numbers against right-handed pitching this season. He struggled more with lefties, but if you look at his numbers against right-handed pitching, they've been pretty good. I mean, he's batting 273 against right-handed pitching this season. If you look at his his on-base percentage, 339 or 393, slugging 500, OPS 893, 227 ISO, 150 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. And then if you look at his splits at home, Muncy has been even better at home. At home this season, 262 average, 393 on-base percentage, 524 slugging, 916 OPS, 262 ISO, 155 WRC plus. His numbers on the road are significantly worse. On the road, 196 average, 299 on-base percentage, 293 slugging, 593 OPS, ISO below 100, and then just a 71 WRC plus. Also, Muncy is striking out a ton on the road compared to at home, which that's kind of weird, but at home, his K rate is only 18.7%. On the road, his strikeout rate is 29%. So, Muncy has had pretty drastic home and road splits this season, which is kind of weird because, Dodger Stadium it's never been known as, a hitter's park. But there's just some hitters that feel more comfortable in their home ballpark, and it looks like that's kind of been the case for Muncy this year. Been hitting the ball really well at home, been hitting the ball well as of late. You got a guy, coming off the IL, making his first start of the season, could definitely, struggle here. The Dodgers have a team total over 5 runs today, so Vegas, they're expecting the Dodgers to put up some runs in this spot. I like what I'm seeing from Max Muncy lately. I like this spot for him against Paul Blackburn. I think he can do enough to go over 4.5 fantasy score. It does it. We're not going to need him to go out there and hit a home run today. I mean, he can really get over this line with just a single and a run scored, or a single and an RBI, or maybe he gets walked a couple times and scores a run. There's a lot of ways for him to get 5 fantasy points. So I like that as our 2 props for today, guys. Logan Webb, we're going to take for more than 33.5 pitcher fantasy score, and then we're going to take Max Muncy for more than 4.5 hitter fantasy score. So we got 2 early plays I like for this small slate on Monday. As always, guys, I do appreciate you watching these Prizepicks videos, supporting the content that I do put out here on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button down below if you enjoy these videos. Hit that subscribe button as well. And be sure to go check out Prizepicks, guys. If you're not signed up for Prizepicks yet, use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up. And when you play $5, you'll get $50 instantly added to your account. So check out Prizepicks if you have not yet. But good luck, guys. Let's win some money tonight, and I'll see you in the next video.